What's going on, everyone? We have another very special guest today on the Comics and Crypto Show. We have Kyler Frisbee here joining us, who is the co-founder and CEO of POG Digital. So we're going to get into a bunch of different stuff today, talk about the original 90s POGs, then get into all the cool stuff that Kyler's building with POG Digital today. So thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let that opening title is pretty sick. Made me feel like a kid again.
Thanks.
Yeah, a big shout to our co-host Kevin Loader for creating that. Yeah, it's awesome. You made it almost entirely from scratch. It's really impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah, we've been big into the VHS collecting scene recently, so that we're trying to capture that with that opening title sequence.
Field media. Yeah. Yeah, you're excited. Yeah. Well, we're really excited to talk about POGs today. But before we do that, I'd love to learn a bit more about your history as a collector. If you are a collector, what do you collect?
Yeah, I mean, started collecting POGs as a kid, and then got into.
Was that the first thing you ever collected?
Yeah, absolutely, it was.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then baseball, basketball cards. My older brother got me into that, and we used to like sit on the weekends and look through our Beckett's and like check out what our cards were worth. And then got into collecting like Bear Bricks and Funko Pops when I was living in LA.
Nice.
I'm really into like vinyl action or vinyl figures, like and. Not super into print yet, but eventually, as hopefully, maybe we make a bit more money, I'll be into like the traditional art side, but not yet. I definitely collect NFTs though. I've got like I think probably like 3,500 NFTs or something. I started collecting like crypto kitties back in 2017.
Oh yeah, 2017. Nice. Yeah, I guess I right around there as well. I probably have, I don't know. I mean, most of them are worthless crap NFTs, but I probably have 20,000, across all my wallets and different chains and different what. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the sealed media market. Have you seen the sales for video games over the past couple of years?
The which ones?
Video games in general, just sealed video games like Mario and Zelda, like the original games.
Oh, I couldn't imagine how much those are going for. No.
Thousands of dollars, some of them over $1 million, $2 million. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No way. That's insane.
Even CIB, like complete in box, which means it's opened. So like a Zelda game, for example, in a sealed graded in a higher grade sold for I think up to $600,000-$700,000, but opened complete in box with the manual in the game in a high grade has gone for like 26,000-27,000, and actually a couple weeks ago, just the box by itself graded $7,200.
Holy fuck!
Box only, for the original Zelda game.
That's insane.
Wild, yeah.
Yeah. I never thought about basketball, football cards. It was fun to see how much they worth, but like unless you have like a crazy one as a kid, you didn't try and sell them. You just loved to. I like to trade them, love to have them, like collect the sets. And I think that's kind of the mentality I brought to NFTs. Like I don't sell too many. I wish that wasn't the case, but
for sure. Well, transitioning a bit, for those who may not be familiar, what are the original physical POG collectibles from the 90s?
Yeah, so POGs were here. I got some.
Yeah, I was eyeing that background.
Yeah, dude. Just I have like packs and boxes of like unopened, sealed ones from Barbie and Power Rangers and Star Wars, Lion King, Batman.
Cool.
A bunch, right? So. We just launched some Coca-Cola ones on POG Chain, but we can get into that a little bit later. But yeah, these are kind of the old, like more vintage style POGs. They say POG on the back, but they're cardboard collectibles from the 90s where, we partnered with everybody from Disney to Hasbro and Mattel and McDonald's and Coca-Cola and, all those other brands I mentioned. And I think it was probably the biggest collectible in the world for a while. POG sold 10 billion cardboard discs around the world to about 180 to 200 million people in like 30 to 40 countries. So it was absolutely massive. And I think a lot of us kids, it was our currency. Like Katy Perry talks about how she used to trade her POGs for Pokemon cards when they came in. And actually we were Pokemon's first partner. So we
oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they had like 3 characters and they put them on POGs with us and we deployed them through McDonald's Happy Meals. And then they came up with more art and away they went. But yeah, their first partnership was with POG.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there was also a game component as well, right? Like people would actually play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, you stack these things upside down, right, and then slam them with a slammer like this,
Slammer. Yeah.
and then whatever flipped you got to keep. So we would just be spending our days in the playground flipping each other's pogs. And one of our co-founders is Matt Sorg. He is the head of gaming and tech at Solana Labs, and he actually used to practice every night and would get so good at it that like he every day would have parents knocking on his door asking for their kids' pogs back. So we took it pretty seriously, I think.
I was gonna say, that was my introduction to gambling.
I think for a lot of us, and they became so valuable to us that fights started breaking out, and that's when the parents and the teachers, I think, outlawed it. And what's really funny is like I'll wear my hoodie around, and I'll get stopped. I've gotten stopped a few times by teachers who were like, "I used to take those from my students." Like I had, I'm like, "Holy shit, you're like 70 years old. It's crazy."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very very big ecosystem as far as the physical collectibles are concerned.
Well, we're really excited to see that the physical meet the digital. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about your background and how that led to you resurrecting the POGs IP as digital collectibles.
Yeah, so I guess I was a pro snowboarder up until I was like
Nice.
23,
Oh,
26.
I'm a huge skier. I live in Frisco, Colorado. I ski like
Okay.
100 days a
So
season at least. Yeah.
I grew up here with Tanner Hall in Montana.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Before this,
Nice.
you and I started a little CBD company called Lions Gold, and so that was like the last business I had before this. But yeah, dude. So skiing lifestyle, spent it on
Yeah.
the mountain and trekking around, and then decided I wanted to get into kind of like the tech business side. Was working at a little bank, and then got into tech staffing and built out some cool teams. So a few years after I left banking, I was at Google building like machine learning teams and cloud platforms, and then got to build the first machine learning team at Unity
Wow.
with the now VP of machine. He's actually the VP of AI at Google. His name's Danny Lang. We were teaching cars to drive in VR and like video games to play themselves. And then I got to actually like after connected gaming and cloud platforms we built out, I got to lead like blockchain research at Unity in 2017.
Wow.
So I found Bitcoin in actually like 2012, and that's what inspired me to get into tech from banking. I was like,
Good
"Fuck
timing.
this! I want to go build startup and work in tech." And then most recently, after I left Unity, I helped build Rivian for a couple of years through the IPO. Had like the 300th truck off the line and was driving that through national forest in Idaho and got stuck.
Nice.
And all that stuff. Yeah, dude, it was awesome. But then when we IPO'd, I was like, I really want to get back into crypto. My brother was running like a big venture capital company. He was investing in VC firms around the country, and we hit up POG just randomly. And then like 3 weeks later, we had a subsidiary. So we co-founded this brand, like the digital side, directly under the IP, directly under the parent company that's owned the IP.
You just reached out directly to the IP holder and then just made it happen, basically.
Yeah, and he was kind of
That's
interested. He'd
incredible.
been like researching blockchain for a while, and he'd been getting hit up like a few times a day, he said, by people wanting to bring him to crypto. And we got lucky enough to be the people who got to do it. And away we went. We've launched like 6 collections of about 11,000 pieces in total,
Cool.
but across 4 different blockchains. So we're on Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Theta. And now actually we have POGChain, and we just dropped a collection on Coca-Cola, or with Coca-Cola on POGChain, and that sold out in about 2 hours. So that was just last Friday.
Wow,
So
congratulations. Well, so maybe you could explain PogChain for us. That'd be a good opportunity.
Yeah, so PogChain is something we didn't necessarily envision. But it is like it's our own blockchain, and so it
Yeah.
allows us to authenticate these collectibles. So this year, like this is a Wayne Gretzky Pog that we made with Coca-Cola back in the
Oh,
90s.
sick.
And so just like PSA, we're grading them, and they come with now like a little serial number inside of these cases. They also have an NFC chip that comes with them inside, and you can tap it to. So basically, what happened is you minted the NFT. You now can redeem the physical that is attached to the NFT, and then tap your physical to somebody's phone to show them your NFT. And so and then those NFTs are just digital certificates of authenticity with grades and
Right.
such, but they can be used in the games. And so like you're playing POGs, you can win one of these Coca-Cola POGs and then get the physical to put on your shelf. And so PogChain allows us to authenticate. And then we've got about 25 projects that are slated to launch over this next year. Like we've got a Looney Tunes collection, Barbie,
Wow.
Toy Story, Lion King, Star Wars, and then a few others. And then like we've got some new IP that's coming out, like John Heder, who is the star of Napoleon Dynamite. He's got a collection he's going to launch on
Oh,
PogChain
cool.
in February. So yeah, we're just super excited about bringing a lot of the big brands and a lot of these like phenomenal artists onto PogChain. And every collection that lands on PogChain will be used in the arcade that we're building. It'll deploy in April and it'll support 5 different blockchains. And then we actually have PogCoin, which has been created but hasn't been released yet. And that'll allow you to buy collectibles on 5 different blockchains. So yeah, we're just super psyched.
Yeah, you guys are working on a lot.
We partnered with Theta Labs to build our own layer 1, and actually directly partnered with AWS as well. So Amazon has helped us build this as well.
That's awesome. Well, so I guess I have a question on the authentication side of it. So you were talking about authenticating physicals. So if somebody had one of their original POGs from the 90s, they could send it into you, and then you guys would authenticate it and then digitize it into an NFT?
Yeah, that is going to be coming up here. I'm going to plug this in real fast.
That's so cool, though. Yeah, that's such a cool way to repurpose people's old collectibles and create new value and new utility for them.
Yeah. So we haven't actually started authenticating public collectibles yet. The way that we did it is we purchased about 5,000 collectibles off of eBay. And
ones that you like knew were already sealed and all that.
Yeah. So our founding advisor is actually the head of collectibles at eBay. So she was the GM at NBA Top Shot and the VP of growth at Dapper Labs when we partnered up. But she's amazing. And so we actually, purchased a bunch and then authenticated them, put them on chain. But we'll open this up as a service probably in early 2025, and you'll be able to send them in and get them graded and authenticated and then digitized onto the blockchain.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to be searching eBay for super rare POGs in anticipation for a year from now when I can actually get them authenticated.
Well, yeah. Good luck. We had about a 2-year head start on everybody, but as soon
I know. I figured.
as soon as we showed everybody what we were doing, they're almost, if you can find authentic POGs now, like with the label, I would be super surprised. It went from them being super abundant. Like we bought a lot of these for like $1 or less. And now if you authenticate them they go for anywhere between like the highest somebody's paid for one was like 1.2 ETH already.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it's exciting to be able to authenticate them and now put them into the arcade. And so it's just the beginning though. We'll do this with we'll do this with comic books, and we'll do this with maybe VHS and like other collectibles as well. So we'll put and maybe someday you'll be able to win like a Starbucks POG, which we've really talked about them with, where then you'd get, if you had it in your wallet, you'd get like discounts at Starbucks whenever you win. I know it's like super real world utility and maybe not as exciting, but then maybe you also get like some super authenticated Jordans or some like off-white Air Force Ones or something by getting that POG. So turning all these collectibles into digital POGs that you can win in a really exciting ecosystem, I think is really fun, but a lot of people could do this without the brand. What's interesting though is we've got like 180, 200 million folks from the past who have collected POGs. And so if we only get like 10% of those people to come into the ecosystem, we've got 18 million people who are collecting POGs again. So that's kind of our
so much nostalgia for you guys to tap into. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, and you were saying on the physical side of things, I think that a lot of times, like especially for people who are newer to Web3, having those like physical activations a lot of times can be the thing that actually that's like their light bulb moment where they actually understand, this thing gives me utility, because I get a pair of Jordans or I get, free tickets to a sporting event or, whatever it is. I feel like, that's a lot of times for people, that's where it starts to click. When they just see it in the digital side, then I think that's when sometimes there's a lot of confusion.
Totally, absolutely, and we want to make it really simple. People already can conceptualize the idea of POG collecting and gaming and all that stuff, so it's like second nature. They don't have to think, what am I going to do with this penguin or this ape, and like it's just a picture. But then if we put even a bored ape, which we did, we had 150 bored apes apply to be put on POGs, and we picked two, and one of them has actually made it to physical form.
Oh, cool.
So these are the new POGs that we created. The box has been kind of ripped open, but so these are the new. We haven't created new packs in like 15 years. The last packs we created were with Marvel for like obviously the Avengers. But let's see if I can find one in here. Anyways, we've got a Bored Ape POG. We've got a D-Gods POG. We've got a Crypto Kitties POG that we created. Like
Nice.
we have a Gen Zero Virgin Crypto Kitty we made. We made a POG with. And then this is some D-God stuff we made. We've got a D-God.
I've got a pretty sick clone. If you're looking for clones.
Yeah, dude. Let's talk. So like,
yeah, I got a pretty cool demon.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So these are all NFTs, and this is the other side, like Nifty Portal. If you scan the QR code on the back, there's about 1,000 physical replicas. It'll take you to the digital NFT that it was made from.
Wow,
what do I got?
That's cool. So the original releases that you guys dropped did those all have a physical component as well, or were those all just purely digital?
All of the first collection, actually, so the first 5 collections have all been just digital only, but we went back and made these physicals from all of the art that we made for the digital NFTs. So you'll find almost one of every NFT, a replica of almost every NFT we've released inside of this collection. And these boxes of POGs are 12 packs. They go for about $500 right now. Yeah, we sold them for like 142, nice. But they've increased because you had to burn the NFT to get the POG, get the box, and so the ones that are left over are pretty expensive. Then we've got one with Jack Butcher we did, and
nice, yeah,
dude. Cool. So we're super pumped.
Yeah, I love that you're locked into both the Web3 crowd. You're also locked into the mainstream IPs. You guys kind of gotten, I feel like, all the market's cornered.
Yeah, hopefully, and bringing back some of the utility for some of these rugs. Like, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Recur and the Nickelodeon collection. Yep. We'll be bringing that collection into the arcade actually to print.
That's awesome. There's so many collectors who've gotten burned by Recur that are going to be so happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what POG can do. Like, I think it'll give us goodwill with the brands, but more than anything is like those would just go to waste, and how tragic is it that those would go to waste?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I guess you kind of talked about like gaming and a few of these other things that you guys are building around the POGs, but like what are some like the other like utility items or like the things that you can do with these that people who collected these in the 90s wouldn't have been able to do with just their physical items?
Yeah, so the gaming is probably the biggest core piece. We already have a game up on Solana where you can bring your POGs, I'll bring mine, and we can compete. Whatever you flip, you win. But then we also have what's called POG TV coming. So POG TV is an esports and nostalgia streaming platform where we eventually will open up to first exclusive creators and then to the public to stream. And it provides rewards and incentives for you to watch your favorite streamers and engage. But beyond that, it actually allows you to contribute to their success. So you can lend them assets, you can give them advice. If you're early to their channel and it grows, then you get to actually take part in some of the revenue that they would earn through the advertising that we'll be able to put out. Cool. And with our partnership with Theta, we have a content distribution platform that actually stores content on POG chain instead of in like IPFS or inside of like other database infrastructures, and will help us deploy a lot more seamlessly globally. So you'll be able to token gate your exclusive content. So we've got a TV show that's coming out with one of the world's biggest actors. He does films with Kevin Hart and had a TV show on HBO. I just watched a couple movies of his last week. Phenomenal guy. He was from Hawaii, but we'll be able to provide behind the scenes stuff from him if you have one of the POGs. The other aspect too is like a lot of these partners like John Heater, he's creating an animation, a series, and every episode that drops, we'll be able to create like proof of attendance or proof of viewership NFT, a POG, and then if you
Yeah.
collect all 12 POGs throughout the season, maybe you'll get like a huge reward at the end of the season, early access to the next season, that kind of thing. And then all of those pieces are available to be played in the games. So maybe you'll find a POG for a TV show that you didn't know before and go part of the community, get some cool utility, and the same thing with other projects and so forth. So we really want to be able to provide content discovery the same way that we did in the 90s.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like so many collectibles projects, especially like digital collectibles projects, they put out their collectible and maybe they'll announce a couple of utility items, but they don't build much like infrastructure around it to like actually make sure that it's going to be successful and that there's going to be a really strong community around it and people are going to be engaged. So yeah, I love that you guys are building so many things around this.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I agree with you,
Yeah.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we built our game before we even launched a collection. So like you could play the game, play for fun, just to see what we're doing. And now we're really excited. And April is gonna be exciting to drop this arcade.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Well, so I guess like outside of like that arcade, are there any other major announcements that you guys have coming up that you'd like to talk about, that you'd like to share with our community?
I think PogCoin is probably the biggest alpha that we have. So PogCoin is like, we just finished up a private sale, which I'm not supposed to talk a lot about. We did really, really well. You know, we raised like 10 times what I thought we were going to.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. And so now we're making that open to the public. So we sold 60% of what we would make available for sale, the private sale. And then we've got about 40% we're going to deploy through these arcade passes, which will go available with ETH later this week or early next. Be able to buy them with ETH. For those on like the Theta chain, they can already buy them with T-Fuel, which is a gas token on the Theta chain. But most of us are on ETH already. So yeah, so those will be available. If you go to our website, pogdigital.com, right here, scroll to the top, click that username or click that link at the very top, and it'll take you to the arcade sale. So right there, it says invite only, arcade pass sale. Yeah. And so I'll send you guys the password, the username, so that you guys can get access to that. And then you can give that out to anybody you want to.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely want to get involved with this. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah. We really appreciate your time today, Kyler. This is I mean, I've been following you guys for a little bit, and then I got introduced to you guys through the Satoshiverse Twitter space, and yeah, I mean, just hearing you talk about all this just makes me so much more excited about everything you guys are building.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, I feel like a kid in the candy store. This is like my opportunity to get to do something I always loved, and I've been trying to chase down the startup life for a long time and be a founder, but never would I've ever thought that it would be something so cool, so fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have friends all around the world already. You know, if you played POGs, like we already have a connection, and like I'm working my ass off so that like we can bring that nostalgia and that legacy in the right way.
Yeah, and 100% agree with Zed. What's up, guys? POGs bring back memories. 100%.
We totally forgot this was a live stream till that second. Right?
Oh yeah. So I guess any alpha you just dropped, it's out there.
That's fine, dude. I'll take a couple slaps on the wrist. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we are notorious for having people drop alpha on our channel, so it's not totally unsurprising.
Perfect. Yeah, dude. Well, I'm excited to have met you guys. This is exactly who we're looking to talk to, and what we should do is hook you guys up with some assets, maybe a small pool of like a dozen assets that you could activate the community, whether it's like giveaways or raffles or whatever.
100%. Yeah, we'd love to do giveaways. We do them all the time with our community. So yeah, we would love to do something like that. Yeah, let's definitely connect afterwards, and we'll figure that out.
Cool. Let's figure that out in January. I'm headed out of town tomorrow, but I'd love to get
you enjoy your trip, and then we'll talk when you're back.
Well, everyone out there, thank you so much for watching, and Kyle, thank you so much for coming on today. And make sure to follow POGs and all their social media and the details. We've included their details in YouTube as well. And thanks again for joining.
Oh, it was a pleasure, dude. Are you kidding me? I had so much fun. You guys are super. You're exactly who I want to be talking to. And I love the mentality of collectors in this space versus just like, let's find the alpha and pump and dump, right? It's this is why we're here, is for the folks that like think about their childhood and smile, and that are excited to kind of, you know, feel that a little bit again. And that's what we're here for. We want to make you feel like you're back 10 years old on the playground.
Yeah. Love that.
You're awesome, Tyler. Can't wait to have you guys then. All right. Thanks again, everybody.